In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to add a discussion forum to your Moodle class. Before I get started, I want to show you a news forum. This is a forum that is included in your course when you first create it, and you will still have it in your course unless you've deleted it. A news forum is a little bit different from a discussion forum. Generally, we don't have our students adding discussion to the forum. We just use it for announcements. So let's go into this news forum, and I might add a new topic. I have one topic here already. I might add a new topic, and let's say something like assignments are due. And then I can make a little note. Don't forget your assignment is due on Tuesday. And I'll click Post to Forum and continue. Now the thing about the news forum is that when I post on the news forum, it will show up here just as a news forum, and my students can click on it to see what's inside it. But I can also have this HTML block that has latest news, and it actually gives an automatic update. So that announcement that I just posted has shown up right here in my latest news block, which means that students can keep an eye on this, and as soon as anything new is posted, it will pop up here, and they don't have to continually check the news forum. I don't actually use this in my classes. I prefer to put announcements at the top in my introductory block, but you might find that it's a very useful tool for you. But that's really not what we want to talk about. Right now what I want to talk about is discussion forums that you might use as part of the interaction in your course. So I'm going to go down to this first week, and I'm going to add a discussion forum. I do that by clicking on Add an Activity or Resource. And I can choose from all of these different kinds of activities and resources, and the one I want is Forum. I'll choose that and click Add. Okay, so I want to give my forum a name, so I'll put in Week 1 Readings. And then I'm going to post a prompt for my students to respond to. So I'll say, please post your thoughts on this week's readings. You'd probably have a more well-developed prompt than that, but this is a quick demonstration. Right here I've got a choice of forum types. You'll see there are several possibilities. The default is a standard forum for general use, so I'll do that for this one, and then I'll show you what the others do. Scrolling down, I'm going to leave all of these blank for now, but there are some choices you can play with. For example, if you wanted your students to add an attachment, you can make sure that they've got enough memory to do that. You might upgrade that a little bit. There are some grading and rating options, but we'll be talking about grading later in the term, so I'm going to leave that and say Save and Display. And this is what it looks like. I've got the title at the top. It says, please post your thoughts on this week's readings. And students will click on Add a New Discussion Topic in order to add their thoughts. So this would be Mary's thoughts. These are my thoughts. I don't have many thoughts today. Notice that there's a place here where I can choose to send email copies of posts to the forum. I am going to set that to I don't want email copies, and I always set my forums that way, except an occasional forum that I want to keep track of. But with 30 students in a class, I'm quickly overwhelmed, so I usually make sure I change that. And then I'll say Post to Forum. So here it is. My thoughts are right down here, and anybody can come in and read them. This is the format I actually use in our class when we have group discussions. I create a standard forum, and then I add, as the teacher, I add a new topic, one topic for each group. When you come in, you respond only to your group. So this works really well for dividing the class into groups. So let's take a look at some of the other options. Down here I've done some examples of each. So this was the standard forum for general use, and you can see how you can use it in a lot of different ways. This one has several different topics posted below so that I could ask my students to respond to several different prompts, and I can have each prompt separated out so that I can keep them organized into topical threads. The next option was a single simple thread. This is what I use when I want everyone to be involved in one long conversation. I don't want things to be divided up by threads. I click reply, and I can respond right here. When I post it to the forum, it ends up nested underneath my first response. If I want to reply to somebody else's response, I just click reply and post my response. Now this is what it looks like once you're inside one of the discussions in a standard forum. But one reason to switch it to a simple discussion is that when you do by mistake a standard discussion, you often end up with each student posting a new discussion topic, and it makes everything disjointed. It makes it very hard to follow a conversation if each student is posting their own when you really wanted them to have a discussion. So that's something to be careful about. Here's another thing that you might notice. Up at the top, you might have noticed that it says display replies in nested form. You can actually change the way that these are displayed, and each of you can do this in your class anytime. So if you want to see the newest posts at the top instead of having them threaded under the topics, you can always change that to view it differently, and that's true in all of these. Okay, so let's go back to the next one. Whoops. Okay, the next one is each person posts one discussion. We'll click on that. Now this might look exactly like a standard forum, but the difference is that each person only can post one time. So once I click on this, add a new discussion, and say Mary's response, or whatever my topic is. Okay, so there's my response. I'm going to get rid of those emails and post it to the forum. Continue. So there's my response, but notice I no longer have the link to allow me to post a new discussion. I can go inside my response, other people can respond to me, and I can reply back. But I can't add another response to that discussion, another initial response to that discussion, because the option is no longer available once I've posted a response. Okay, the next one is a Q&A forum, and this is a fun one to be able to use. I have added a question here on capitals, and normally I would have a bigger introduction up here, but when I click on capitals, the question is, what is the capital of Oregon? Now, I can answer this question, but of course in a standard forum, as soon as one person answers the question, everybody else knows what the answer is. But if I use the Q&A forum, I have to post my response first before I'm allowed to see any other responses. So as soon as I respond to this question with my answer, everybody else's answers will become visible to me. And this is a really useful one if you want students to think out their answers without having access to everyone else's ideas first. Okay, and the last one is a standard forum displayed in a blog-like format. So this is similar to a standard forum, but once I go into this topic, once I create a topic, instead of having it display actually, let me do a demonstration. So I'm going to add a new topic, and let's say this is my favorite writing styles. Although I like blogs, I really prefer journaling. I don't know how to spell that. Okay. So I'll post that to the forum. And you'll notice that instead of just having 2 topics, I end up with 2 topics along with the first post. And when somebody responds to that, instead of seeing respond, you'll see discuss this topic. So when I click on discuss this topic, all of the responses to that specific topic get shown in a sort of blog kind of format with the newest response at the top, which you can change, of course. So these are all different options that you might want to try out in your course this term. Each one functions a little bit differently, but all of them give opportunities for your students to interact with one another.